Hey guys, it's TheJerkDonny here. And we're starting a new podcast. As I mentioned in my other podcast, Arrow to a Botany, that myself and my co-host, which I will introduce in a bit later, will be starting a podcast where we look at the Wednesday Night Wrestling Wars. This podcast will be called Wrestling in Progress because we don't know how to make good titles and we're shitty people. Anyways, my co-host today, he is quite sour all the time. He moonlights as a judge at night and he fights crime during the day. He is also very well hung. He is my friend, Judge Lemon. How you doing today, Judge?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for the fine compliments, but it is unnecessary. Anyways, thanks for having me on for this podcast.
Well, yeah, we're going to look at hopefully every single week of AEW and NXT unless one of us dies. Yes. Or we just hate each other because of this podcast.
Also a possibility.
But yes, to those who don't know, NXT has finally made its way onto television, and also AEW has finally become an actual thing on television instead of a t-shirt company.
Yeah, finally a t-shirt. It's finally made its mark on TV for once, and WWE has its
and this is totally not the Monday Night's War. It's WWE versus WCW. There's actually talent on both rosters. But anyways,
kind of.
What we're going to do is we're going to look through each week, and then at the end we'll kind of just talk about who we think did best, and we'll assign points, and we're going to keep track of the points throughout the entire thing.
So Donovan is going to be covering NXT, and I'm going to be covering AEW. We figured this would probably be the smartest thing to do, as Donovan, being a longtime wrestling fan, should be the one to cover WWE, since that's his kind of, his home.
And my friend here, Cody, he's just started to become a wrestling fan, so it makes sense for him to follow the more indie-rific, newer brands, since he's also new to it. So we get two different perspectives, a jaded perspective and an optimistic perspective. Also, he's a hipster, so of course he has to do AEW.
Wait, which one's which?
Depends on the day. Depends on if Kofi Kingston loses in 9 seconds. We're not mad. It's cool because they covered with Cain Velasquez, no big deal. Anyways.
Yes, just
what show should we start with? I think we should start with the one that went on first. That's probably NXT, right? So, NXT opened up with, I thought it was weird that they opened up with, their main event first. They're trying to just spunk their load right off the bat.
That's it. I know I'm cutting it right away, but that's exactly what I wrote down for my thing, is that I when I saw it was Adam Cole versus Matt Riddle right away, I was very, very extremely thrown off because I kind of had to take a second because I was confused. I thought I had kind of missed the mark on it. I thought I'd skip to the end or something, and I was like, oh no, that's actually how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, you would think that the world title would go on last, but yeah. I understand why they did it. They're trying to go in hot.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They're trying to get people's attention right away, right off the bat.
But to start this match, they both make their entrances. Adam Cole, as he's coming to the ring, he's sporting a cast, because as happened on last week on NXT, that they actually recap as he's making his way to the ring. Matt Riddle put him in a Fujiwara armbar. Now, interesting enough, I'm going to throw this to you before we actually get into this match. Do you think it's weird that he's doing the Fujiwara armbar, a move that everybody else has kind of used? I kind of like the Bro Mission by itself, so it's cool that he's using that also as his finishing move. It's just, I thought it was, compared to the Bro Mission, it's not as good. What is your thought on it?
To be honest, I'm not too picky when people try new things. I think if he wants to try that, to incorporate it into his moveset and kind of change it up a bit, maybe little, and maybe add add it as a new move, maybe give it a new name or something, maybe have a variant to it, similar to how Asuka has her Asuka Lock as a kind of different type of rear naked choke, but with a single arm, or something like Daniel Bryan's lapel lock.
I'm all about multiple finishing moves. It seems like everybody uses the Fujiwara armbar. That's my only
that's what I mean though. That's what I mean though about adding something different to it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he'll do in the future. Maybe that's what he was thinking of, but he just didn't have time to kind of perfect it. But I honestly didn't think it was anything too bad to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely think he's capable.
It was
of
just
coming
last
with
week
more.
on NXT. I was just super shocked when he beat Killian Dane with it. I was like, oh, that's a finish now?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, let's get into this match. So basically the format for this podcast is we're actually going to talk about like the major spots and the flow of the match. So when it comes to Riddle versus Cole, Matt Riddle actually gets early control of Cole until Cole hits him with a huge enziguri, and then he goes through the ropes to get further control. Later on, Adam Cole actually gets him up into the fireman's carry, drops him into that neck breaker, and continues his control. I always like this move. The only problem is like AJ does it, and also Ty Dillinger when he was part of WWE does it. So I kind of have a problem with multiple people doing the moves, but I'll let it slide because it's Cole.
Also, let me preface this. Donovan's gonna be a whole lot more fucking prepared for this than I am. He has a lot more of a stream of consciousness thought. I'm gonna be talking about more so how the match made me feel and what my thoughts are on the match. So if
Yeah,
you're
maybe we should have communicated better for our first podcast what we wanted.
We'll figure it out something a little bit more in betweeny next time. But I'm gonna Donovan, I'm sure will pick up a lot of my slack with how this is because Donovan's very much a fucking technical man. I'm more about how hard this match made me.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I've also watched wrestling for longer, so I know, and I've watched a lot of how other people podcast. I basically took inspiration from Cultaholic. But anyways, back to the match. So as Cole's getting his control after that big neck breaker, Riddle gains back control by hitting his. He does like arm whip, and then he does like a back kick. Hits a exploder, hits the Broton, which I thought was cool because he does that whole thing where he does like a roll, a flip, and they keep dodging. And then he finally hits him with the Broton, and then a penalty kick for a near fall, which I thought was exciting.
Yeah.
Then they go into exchange where they hit knees, followed by Riddle gets a deadlift into a fisherman neckbreaker for another near fall, and Riddle's just a house of fire right now. After every kick out, you can just see it on his face. It's just amazing visuals. He follows this with a deadlift German for another near fall. It's all Riddle. All these facials are great. But Michael Cole.
Okay, Donovan, get off of Michael Cole's dick, please.
Adam Cole gets back into it with another beauty. You remember that in the match where... Because he keeps trying to go for the bro to sleep, right? Mm-hmm. And he gets him off the ropes into the bro to sleep position. Then he flips him up, and then Adam Cole does that amazing backbreaker. Mm-hmm. I thought that was beautiful near fall. Pause for me dying. And then he kind of breaks down to some strikes, they exchange some suplexes. Like Riddle hits another. It's just a very fast-paced match. He hits a big German. Cole gets him back with a suplex into the neck breaker. They both go for their big kicks, like the super kick and the knee. Then eventually Cole jumps into a knee on the outside. Floating bro, near fall. I'm just like, this is going way too crazy. And then they pull out, I guess WWE does this once every match now. Cole does a top rope Canadian Destroyer for near fall, even though Riddle looks like he just freaking died.
I honestly thought that was going to be the end of the match.
After this, Cole calls for his finisher, the last shot, which I don't know about you. The last shot kind of looks like a cool move, but it looks like if he whiffs it, it looks really bad.
Is it just supposed to be like a running drop kick kind of thing?
It's a running knee to the back of the head.
Is it? Okay.
Like the Shining Wizard?
Yeah.
It's like that to the back of the head, though.
Honestly, I thought it looked more like a drop kick, and I thought I don't know if maybe it's just the way I saw it, but I thought he honestly just kicked Matt Riddle in the back of the head, kind of similar to fucking Drew McIntyre's Claymore kick.
Yeah.
I thought he honestly, I thought he did have the knee, but then I thought, oh, maybe it's just a running drop kick. And I was just like, wait, did he just fuck up Matt Riddle?
But anyways, so he goes for the last shot. I guess we just kind of spoiled the end, but whatever. He goes for the last shot, but actually Riddle falls over and just collapses from all the damage. This was like the only real storytelling part in the match. Like, I don't want to be that guy like, oh, you have to sell everything. But it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then Cole goes for the Destroyer, gets caught, gets put into bro to sleep, powerbomb, and then... he hits him with a big knee for a 2. Floating bro afterwards for a 2. The crowd is just on their feet cheering everything.
People were going nuts for this.
That's what you can say about the Full Sail crowd. Like, there's a lot of news right now that they want to get out of the Full Sail arena. I'm like, why? I guess it doesn't look good on TV, but like...
Yeah.
It's a great thing. Riddle fights off Cole. and flies into a super kick, followed by a destroyer. Goes for the last call, but Riddle ducks. Gets into the bro mission. That was a nice spot. The crowd was just hoping that he would get the winner.
Mm-hmm.
Cole does an awkward turn into a pin and had a kick out. Yeah, this was a little sloppy part of the match where he's in the bro mission. He does this weird turn. It looked really contrived. Like, I don't want to, like, nitpick, but this is one of those things where I saw it. I'm like, this kind of looks sloppy, but it kind of adds to it and makes it seem like it's a little bit real. And then, shit, I lost my place. Oh, he kicks out, and then he goes right into the armbar. He starts working that armbar. And then, when you see Riddle's face when he's in the armbar, he looks like he's taking, like, the maddest shit ever.
Riddle looks like he's about to bust a fucking nut on fucking Cole.
But yeah, it's funny. Riddle, Cole tries to get to the rope. Riddle drags him back in, then he rolls him up for a near fall. Riddle goes for the armbar again, but Cole gets free. Then he hits him with the cast. Last call.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. Amazing opener. So we're going to do ratings for each match. Well, I'm going to do ratings for each match. I'm going to do 5-star ratings. I have no idea what Cody's going to do. He's probably going to do, like, nut levels. I'm going to give this match 4 out of 5 stars. Now, the way I usually rate matches is if it's a good, decent match, I'll probably give it, like, 2.5 max. I'm not going to give many matches 5 stars. Unless they're amazing, like Evil versus Sonata from the G1. Kota versus Kenta during the G1. And other great matches such as that. But it's not over yet, the segment. Finn Balor returns. Now, this was a big pop.
I was so hyped for
What's your thoughts on Finn Balor coming to NXT? I was going to say stepping down, but let's be honest, it's promoting Raw shit.
It's not. It's, yeah, I mean, to be honest, after seeing Balor in well, I guess he was kind of like back and forth between Raw and SmackDown for the longest time. But did he end up?
He was supposed to be on SmackDown, but they had the whole wild card, so he couldn't keep track.
Yeah, except for they kind of dropped that. They kind of like half dropped it, but half kept. I don't know. It was fucked.
Yeah, they're gonna end that soon with the draft.
Good. Yeah, I know.
Let's see if they stick with
that.
Fuck
the wild card rule. It kind of destroyed the whole idea of brand exclusivity. Anyways. After Balor's kind of like really bad loss to the Fiend, I thought like, because he went away to be married in real life.
Yeah, and shaved his head bald.
Yeah, so fucking weird. And I honestly thought he was just gonna take time off and do something else for the time being. I didn't expect him back so soon. And I didn't really actually expect him, which is a good thing. I didn't expect him on NXT of all things. If anything, I was more expecting fucking Kevin Owens to go back to NXT out of anybody.
That's a cool shout.
But, yeah, I know.
I was hoping Aleister Black, since I'm not doing anything with him.
That too, but, I mean, there's a lot of people I'd rather go to NXT, because, yeah, I mean, yeah, let's be honest anymore. It used to be, like, Raw, SmackDown, then NXT, and then 205 Live, but since 205 Live is dead now, it's not even like that anymore, and since Fox is putting so much into SmackDown,
SmackDown's now the shiny new brand.
Yeah, and now NXT gets its second hour. It's definitely more along the lines of 3 equal, but not so equal.
Yeah. In
terms of quality shows, because each of them are getting a lot of love.
Yeah.
Except for Raw, of course.
I just can't wait to say.
Okay, but let's be honest though, because Raw has the Fiend, and that's like one of its saving graces. And they have Braun, and they have fucking
Rollins. He's all right in the ring.
Okay, as much as people like to shit on
they have
Rollins,
Becky too.
Yeah, as much as people like to shit on Rollins, and I do shit on him as well, I still think he is a good wrestler. I just think with a lot of his antics he does on Twitter and shit, he does put his foot in his mouth, and his championship reign, though I don't attribute this only to him, is kind of like been stunted a lot, especially like having him on Raw every single day of the week kind of fucking kills the whole like what's special about him, and having him. I know he wanted to be a fighting champion, but sometimes it's good to not have him fight all the time.
Exactly.
And at this point, I just kind of want him to turn heel or something, or try something new, or even just go away and reinvent yourself like Bray Wyatt did.
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyways,
back to Finn Balor and NXT.
Yeah, mini rant aside. Yeah, I wasn't expecting. I didn't really know what brand he was going to go back to. So seeing him on NXT, I was actually kind of happy.
And he said he's claiming he's going to stay on NXT.
And yeah, saying he's like, I'm trying to remember what he said exactly.
I am NXT.
I am NXT or whatever he said. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I kind of like this because knowing how they treated him in NXT when he was there originally, I'm like, well, at least I know he'll be used properly here. So I'm excited to see what goes on in there. But yeah, as for my rating, what I wrote down, I'll give it an actual rating just to satisfy those people who have a fucking hard-on for numbers.
Yeah.
But I'll give it my number rating first. So I'm gonna agree with you. I would give it 4 stars out of 5. And I very much kind of share the star rating where 2.5 more or less equal to like a 5 out of 10, 50 out of 100, whatever the fuck you want to equate it to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2.5 is like an average match. There's nothing too special about it. There's not really much of a story, but it had like good
next to like the arm, there's not much. It was just a good I said the only reason it would have been higher for me if it wasn't such like a spot fest.
Yeah,
I know people enjoy that. It was a good showing. It's a good way to start the show.
Here's the thing: I will without a doubt agree. It had amazing moments. The spots were obviously high. It had a lot of like really fast paced, some high impact moments that really fucking got me. Like, oh fuck yeah, get me going, bitch. Honestly though, there wasn't much of a story to it, and I know there's the whole story behind it. Don't get me wrong, I know there is.
Yeah. But
I didn't feel like the match meant much. Like technically, great fucking match, fantastic, and I love it for that.
Yeah.
But I just felt like it was held back by the fact there wasn't much to the match. The entire time, as much as I wanted Riddle to win, I didn't feel like he was going to win.
Yeah.
I kind of felt that.
It feels like they're going to just go with the whole undisputed story.
Yeah, that's what I kind of feel like. So anyways,
let's move on to the next thing so we don't dwell in it.
Hey, I gotta give it my rating. And to me, this fight slaps all types of ass.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about that.
Nice.
Anyways, yeah, so my rating is more or less equal to yours.
Okay.
In a sense.
Well, next they show an amazing video promo for Shayna Baszler versus Candice LeRae later on, which will be a great match. But next segment is Velveteen Dream and the Velveteen Dream Experience. I really enjoyed this. I like that he was surrounded by women. He dropped a lot of sexual innuendos.
And he got my dicks. Wow, boy.
No, my favorite part, like, he's basically the whole promo was him just like saying that he wants his North American Championship back against Roderick Strong, and he said that he has no problem taking on 2 men. He's had experience taking 2 men.
I love his fucking sexual innuendos. He's so great.
And then after that, they showed another hype package for next week, the Cruiserweight title match between Lio Rush and Drew Gulak, which I think will be another amazing match. But back to the ring. Io Shirai versus Mia Yim.
Ooh, this
Io Shirai's new change and look, I love it. I love it. But yeah, so let's start with the match. I also like Io Shirai's new gear. Mwah. That's all I have to say. I love it.
Also, that entrance theme, motherfucking hard ass slapping banger.
I love the strobe lights, but I didn't stare at it too long because it was fucking with my eyes. But anyways, this match starts out hot. It seems like Yim has got Shirai scouted. She's on top of her for most of the match. Shirai gets back in with a Tiger Feint kick off the apron. For those who don't know, that's pretty much a 619. Takes control.
Booyaka, booyaka, bitch.
Later in the match, there's this amazing dragon screw whip to the leg for a nice near fall. Shirai does a big flapjack, handspring knee attack for 2. She also hits a running... The fuck did I write? Running corner knee, sorry. Misses and gets backdropped by Yim. But Shirai lands on her feet and just tosses... Oh, sorry. She tries to backdrop Yim. Shirai gets tossed, and it just looks great. Yim makes a comeback. Multiple drop kicks to Shirai. Gets a hurricane. But then Shirai gets a gets back in, gets a Hurricane Rana. I honestly thought it was over. I just thought it was going to be one of those flash finishes.
Yeah.
It was a nice Hurricane
I felt
Rana.
like there was a lot of that in this match, which was kind of weird, but...
Then she hits the 619 into a dropkick for 2. Shirai's just in control again. Yim comes back with a code blue, which is basically just a code red, but she calls it blue because she's blue. Shirai powers out. Yim dives to the outside. Now, here's the part of the match that gets annoying. So during the break, first off, the ad breaks were freaking annoying.
Oh my
NXT.
god, don't even... They were annoying during kind of both, but well, I'd say worse during NXT.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah, Yim actually hits her with the Eat Defeat, which is, I don't know if that's what she calls it in NXT, but like she took this move from Gail Kim, who uses it. I don't know if it's like a finish, but I know she used it for a finish for a while. I know she has Watch Your Neck as your other move. And then Shirai just kicks out and then just gets back into the action like nothing happened. I'm like, what? Then Yim climbs onto the top. She gets cut off. Shirai hits her with a superplex, kick out after a long time to get to the pin, which it protects both of them, but I mean, I prefer it. And then she just eventually hits a moonsault after this and wins. I gave this match personally 3.5 stars out of 5. I thought this was like the best story match between the two of them because Io Shirai the entire time was being very cocky during the match, having all these cocky pins, getting all in her face, slapping her about. Yim. I thought Yim played like a valiant underdog in this. Like I thought this was actually like a good story match. I was wondering what your thoughts were on this.
Honestly, like, I just have slightly less interest in this match. It's
You just hate Asians.
Yes, that's definitely it. It's not like I fucking love so many New Japan stars.
Kenny Omega doesn't count.
Okay, yeah, but like Kota Ibushi.
Who?
Tetsuya Naito.
All I know is Evil and Tomohiro Ishii.
I know because you got some fucking massive dick boner for Evil.
I just like big sweaty men.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Vince. Honestly, though, this match was pretty solid. It's just nothing that I can like inherently call it like in a flaw. Nothing that like stands out as much as the Adam Cole versus Matt Riddle. But like just a decent match, but it didn't really stick out to me.
Yeah, fair enough.
And all that much. Like I'd probably give it like maybe a 3, so like 6 out of 10. So like definitely kept my attention, but it didn't do anything more than that. It didn't super like wow me. Like
I just hope from this Shirai's moves towards the title picture. I think she should be the one to dethrone Shayna if Candice doesn't do it later in the night.
I do think that this match though did give Io Shirai a good like kind of boost. Like even if Yim isn't like, I don't think she's super huge in NXT, is she?
Who, Yim?
Yeah.
She did have 2 challenges against Shayna Baszler for the title, but it just wasn't received as well because she hasn't really built up to it. Like she's an amazing worker, but
she's just not as well known as some other people.
She's just not indie-rific enough, but she'll get there eventually, I think.
Yeah, I can see that she definitely has a lot of talent. I just don't feel like she was much of a viable threat to Io Shirai. Io Shirai just felt like she had that presence the entire match, that she really had the control the most of the time.
Exactly.
Like, not even like in the literal sense, but the figurative sense that even when she was getting slapped around or when she was being hit with moves over and over, it didn't feel like she was really in any trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just me. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Just like 3 stars.
Yeah. Then after this, they have the Tegan Nox. She's going to be returning with her double knee braces because every time she gets into the ring, she breaks her leg.
That got me fucking emotional, man.
Yeah, I felt
watching
bad
that.
for her.
I even though I'm not like I haven't like kept up with everything with NXT.
Oh, it's so hard with so many wrestlers nowadays.
But watching that got me fucking excited. That got me fucking pumped to watch her.
I just wanted Team Kick to be back, her and Dakota Kai. But after the video package, we got the next match tonight: Johnny Wrestling versus Shane Thorne. This match starts out with some really good chain wrestling. Gargano has the better of it. He tries to keep getting the Gargano escape.
Is it just me, or does Johnny Gargano look fucking weird? I don't know what it is about him.
Oh, thank God it's not me who just thinks
But his hair, before he starts wrestling, when he gets his all fucked up, like, obviously messy hair, his hair, before he gets into the match, he looks fucked up. I don't know what it is, But he just looks...
This is how we're going to get all the hate from the fans. I don't believe Johnny Gargano is as great as everyone says he is. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Ooh, dropping the hot takes already.
But anyways, so he's trying to the Gargano escape over and over again. Then Shane Thorne hits a sun elbow into this very beautiful snap black suplex. And then Shane Thorne kind of just takes control from here. Johnny Gargano makes a comeback. He does like that roll-up thing where he rolls him, and then he does his spin into a kick.
Mm-hmm.
He does that. He does his dive to the outside, but he's cut off. He's cut off by an uppercut, but Johnny Gargano, being the guy he is, he says, I don't give a shit, and then just dives again and takes out Thorne. I'm like, okay. We just know something. Thorne does his big spear through the ropes for 2. Thorne gets his...
I love that. Dude, I don't know about you, but I love the slingshot spear.
Oh, I do too.
That move is fun. I don't even care because, like, I feel like a lot of people say, oh, he just does that just because he's a smaller guy and he can't regularly spear someone. But I'm like, dude, if you got, like, slingshot spear, I feel like that shit will fucking turn you inside out.
Yeah, I think it works for someone his size to like give him momentum.
But like even just with not even just with him, like imagine if a motherfucker like Roman Reigns did that. If he did a slingshot spear, he would just explode.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just don't like the spear because like everybody uses it nowadays, especially
Come on,
today.
who can? You can't tell me that a spear is not like one of the most satisfying moves to see.
I like it. I'm not one of those people in that camp. I think the spear is a good transitional move.
Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously now it's synonymous with Big Dog Roman Reigns winning the match, but honestly, I think it's just a solid move overall, even if it's not a finisher.
But anyways, after the spear and this 2 count, Shane, he goes for his, what's that move called? The DDT he does over the ropes, the slingshot DDT.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird hopping.
I honestly like the move personally. I think it's a good other finish for Johnny.
Yeah.
Besides his escape and his super kick, but Thorne actually catches him, puts him into the corner, hits a big cannonball, picture perfect, hits a powerbomb. I don't remember. It was a Shibata powerbomb. I don't know what he normally calls it, but he only got 2 count from it. He takes control with these vicious kicks. You can just hear them.
Oh my god, when he was kicking him, I thought his goddamn shoulder blade was gonna pop out of its socket.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, and then Gargano fights back. He hits this beautiful clothesline. I just loved it. It made a great sound. There's a little bit more back and forth.
Wait, are you talking about the clothesline that took him like over the top rope?
No, he just hits him with like this big clothesline to like get some separation.
Oh, okay.
Then they start doing a little back and forth like kicks until Gargano hits the poisoned Rana or the reverse Hurricane Rana, and then into a super kick for the 3. I honestly gave this match, as much as we had those big back and forth, I gave it 2.75 stars out of 5, and here's why. It's a pretty decent match, but like...
It seems like Johnny Gargano's stupid fucking face.
No, it just seems like it's just a standard Johnny Gargano match. Like, I don't want to make it sound like, oh, this is just a standard John Cena type match or Orton match, but like, it seems like we all knew Johnny Gargano was going to win.
Yeah, there wasn't really. Again,
they haven't built up Thorne that much yet, which is sad because I think this match still made Thorne look really good.
Yeah,
but it just seemed like a very meat and potatoes match to make. Oh, look, here's Johnny Gargano. Let's just give him this win just so we can keep him on the upper echelon. I honestly was kind of hoping Thorne would just pick up a surprise win, just because it's just Johnny Gargano has been at the top for so long, and I think he needs to come down a bit and like feud with some of the other guys.
Yeah, I feel like he needs a new feud, and I mean we'll talk about something else that happens near the end of the show after, and kind of
which was something that should have happened. But
yeah, I'm very much in the same boat as you. I'd probably give this match. In terms of storytelling, there wasn't really anything there. It was just
except
kind of
that Thorne was wanting to win the match.
yeah. Except Thorne wanted to win the match, and Johnny Wrestling says no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like technically, there's a lot of really good spots on this. I can't remember what it was, but what was the move that he that took him out of the ring and onto the onto the steps? Like they got, or at least onto the metal part of the steps.
I think you're thinking of a different
ramp
match. Because they didn't go on the ramp on
Did
that
they
one.
not? Okay,
No.
maybe I'm thinking of a different match.
You're thinking of, I think, Candice and...
Okay, because there was a nasty fucking hit that somebody hit, and they hit their elbow into their shoulder, and it looked like they just fucking popped out of their socket. But
Yeah.
maybe I'm confusing it with something else. But yeah, I mean, this match had its like nice high impact moments, and that's kind of what like would make me inclined to like this match more than some others. But honestly,
it just seemed like more of just a standard good worked match.
Yeah, it's somewhere between a 5 and a 6. Not quite a 5, but not
out of 10, right?
Yeah, out of 10. So
I was supposed to say you're giving this 5 stars.
Yeah, no, fuck, no, not like that. So like, it's not quite a 2.5, but it's not quite a 3.
Yeah, it's somewhere in between.
So it's somewhere in between, because it didn't really do anything for me. Like, I look at this the same way as Io Shirai, maybe just a little bit less, because like with Io Shirai, I felt like at least Yim had a chance to win.
Yeah.
But against Johnny Gargano,
well, doesn't it also help that NXT hasn't made us care about Shane Thorne as much as Io Shirai and Yim?
Yeah, I didn't feel like there was much of a threat to Gargano at all, so I didn't expect Thorne to really win. So
anyway, speaking of Gargano, his wife's in his next match. It's Candice LeRae versus Shayna Baszler for the women's title.
Yeah.
This match starts out pretty good for Candice. Shayna kind of underestimates. There's some early kicks from LeRae. He surprises Shayna, takes her out, takes early control, takes her out of the ring, does his big crossbody, but then Shayna's battles back to get control. Then LeRae battles back into an octopus hold where Shayna just powers out. Then LeRae climbs to the top rope, but Shayna cuts her off, takes her to the outside. Now here's something that looked amazing in the match. So Baszler throws Shayna throws LeRae into the steel steps.
The one where she got her hand in there?
Yeah, and then stomps her. That looks sick.
Dude, yeah, to be honest, like, my main point about this match, and I love this match, by the way, was that holy fuck, like, watching Baszler fight.
Yeah. She
is probably one of the most ruthless type fighters, next to someone like Brock Lesnar or like Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah.
She's basically kind of what I thought Ronda Rousey would be.
Well, she's just, in my opinion, she's the best women's wrestler in WWE now.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that's what I kind of like love about this match.
That's why I hope she doesn't go to SmackDown.
Yeah, that's what I kind of love about her in this, is that she is so dominant in this match.
Yeah, but talking about this spot, what I hated, I don't know if you noticed this, is after this, like, she works the arm for a bit, but then Candice does not sell the arm until, like, the very end when she loses. I'm just like, you got stomped and you don't sell it.
But most of the time she did anything with that arm right after she was clutching it again. So I kind of felt like she was selling it.
I never saw any of that, to be honest, because I saw her hit her big neck breaker off the top later.
So I was seeing her like gripping her arm like every 5 seconds. I'm like, bruh, like you're selling the shit out of it.
Maybe I saw a different part of it. Because I don't remember seeing any of that. But anyways, Candice attempts a German off the apron, which I was hoping would hit because that would look sick as hell, but probably not the biggest thing. But instead she just DDTs her on the apron, hits multiple dives, which looked pretty cool, to Shane on the outside. Except, I don't know about you, but something like the time she's like pretzeled when she landed on her. I'm like Candice, don't hurt yourself. Then Candice goes to the top again, but gets cut off. Shayna hits a big gut wrench off the top. I thought that was a cool spot. All I have to say is, Candice, stop going to the top. You've got cut off twice now.
Candice took a lot of risks in this match and got fucked.
Anyways, it breaks back down to a little back and forth. Candice actually gets the Kakuta. What's it called? What's Shayna's clutch called?
Oh, the Coquina clutch. Are you talking about?
Yeah, it's kind of like a Coquina clutch.
Like a rear naked choke.
Yeah, she has her own version of it.
It's like Samoa Joe's, but not as good.
But yeah, she gets it on big pop. Everyone's hoping she taps, but Shayna, of course, it's her move. She powers out.
Yeah, no. When I saw that, I was like, "Holy shit! Is she actually gonna win?"
Then she does her hanging clutch, like off the top rope.
Yeah.
Afterwards, Candice slips out, hits the big neck breaker, which I think is called the Candice Wild Ride, for a 2, which I thought was surprising. I'm like, that's Candice's finish. But I guess they changed it to the Lion Saw, which we'll see if she actually hits it later. She attempts the Unprettier, which I thought was cool. Shayna, this is like when they do like all their big reversals. As you can see, I wrote a paragraph because they just started reversing stuff. But Shayna reverses that into the clutch. But Candice does the Kairi roll through for attempted 2, but she kicks out. Then she goes for the Lion Salt. After she does this weird power down move, like the weird face buster. Goes for the Lion Salt, misses. She fights valiantly inside of Shayna's clutches, but eventually taps
just
out.
watching that move is so brutal. I love that fucking finisher.
But yeah, I thought this match was very solid. I gave it 3 stars out of 5. I didn't think it was as good as the Io Shirai Yim match, personally, just because I felt like she didn't sell the arm as much. Like, I know it's nitpicking, but I felt like it was just a very standard heel and babyface. And the commercial breaks really took me out of this one because it was just like they'd hit one big move and then it'd be like commercial.
Yeah. See, I kind of like have the opposite thing. Is like I kind of like this just a little bit more than Io Shirai and Yim. Is it Mia Yim? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Mia Yim.
Okay, I didn't know if that was right or not.
I just call her Yim.
Yeah, I just didn't want to say the wrong name. Anyways, I kind of like this a little bit more. I kind of enjoyed how like dominant Baszler was the entire match, not the entire match, but for the majority of the match. Because I never, again, in the opposite way, I never felt like she was in any big danger, and I just kind of like seeing her beat the shit out of Candice LeRae, even though I love Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like.
Let's be honest here. Did you think Candice was going to win?
Not really, though. That's
a lot of people were predicting it as like the kind of upset.
Yeah, but
flip the channel kind of win. But I'm just like, it seems weird after she loses to Io to then win the title. You know what I mean? So I thought it was fine that she lost.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Honestly, but I would probably either, I don't know, maybe like a not quite a 3, but not quite a 3.5, somewhere between there for like my match, because it was pretty solid overall, and I enjoyed it. It caught my attention quite a bit more, especially more than like the Gargano versus Thorne.
Yeah,
like it definitely caught my attention more than that, and more or less pretty close to what Shirai and Yim. So. Yeah, it was a pretty solid match overall. To be honest, there's some pretty nice high spots. But
here's a question for you. Sorry to cut you off. Who do you think should challenge Shayna Baszler next? Because for me, I would just throw in Dakota Kai, because there's the whole story about how she broke her leg, and that would be a good comeback, good feel story. But like, there's a lot.
Who else is there?
Bianca Belair is in there. Yim, Shirai. And there's a bunch of other girls who are trying to build up at the moment.
Honestly, I wish Asuka would just go back to NXT and go fight again.
Just bring the Kabuki Warriors back down.
Yeah, back down? You mean up?
Sorry, get promoted to the main roster of NXT.
I don't know. It looks like they're trying to build maybe Shirai up there, but...
Just seems weird, heel versus heel. But I guess Shirai's so cool that she can just turn baby. Just be a badass.
No, fuck it. Just have a heel versus heel match.
Yeah.
I'd love to see two bad guys beating the shit out of each other. I feel like that's one match that could actually work. But
people would just cheer Shirai anyways. They already cheered her in that match.
Yeah, I mean, she really got a lot of cheers for that match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one to say. I'm not as up to date on NXT as you are, so your guess is probably way better than mine.
I've only been watching it for 2 weeks straight, but anyways.
You're still way more than me.
I just check the highlights of it usually, but now that it's amazing, I'm gonna keep it updated. Mm-hmm. I know what else is amazing? This hype package that they had between Imperium and Kushida. Now the story, I kind of like the match that they're building to next week, Kushida versus Walter.
Fuck, I just can't wait.
I think that's a good. I think Kushida's gonna die to all those chops.
Well, just every time I see Walter chop, I just think, wow, he just caused fucking whoever just to implode. Like, their body just fucking retracts into itself.
Yeah.
Just to avoid the pain.
And this next match is quite good. It's Pete Dunne versus Danny Burch. 2 English lads just beating the fuck out of each other. Yeah. I quite liked the beginning of this match. It was some awesome chain wrestlings, working each other's arms, because Pete Dunne's known for breaking people's fingers. Dunne finally gets the first strike in, takes control, starts working the joints of Burch, but Burch fights back, takes control, gives him a taste of his own medicine, starts working the joints. Big strikes are exchanged until Dunne takes control with this beautiful powerbomb for 2. Then Burch fights back. He has a really cool spot, I thought. He did a big headbutt to the back of Pete Dunne's head, throws him off the rope, gets the pop-up powerbomb, does a rope-hung DDT while Nigel McGuinness freaks out because he used to do a finish like that, but he only gets a 2 count out of that. And what's the weird, strange thing? I didn't notice, but Burch apparently in those strikes got busted open. I thought that added to the match because it showed that it was like quite groundbreaking, quite stiff, quite technical. And then eventually Dunn gets hold of his fingers, breaks it, hits him with the bitter end, and gets the 3. I thought this was a pretty solid match, pretty solid brawly technical match. I actually gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I know most people probably wouldn't have given it so high, but I personally love these two guys in the ring. I love their style. I love the old kind of catch as catch can English style wrestling, where it's quite tight, quite stiff. It doesn't look like they're working together. It looks like they're trying to get the edge. It was a nice short match, putting it down over.
Yeah, I was kind of indifferent on this match. I do like me some Pete Dunne. I've seen a couple of his matches, and I do like the way he works. It's just this match.
I completely get that. Sorry to cut you off, but I kind of figured you weren't gonna really care about this match just because you don't really know Danny Burch that much.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Is I don't have any problem with the wrestling on a technical level. I just didn't feel it. It didn't catch me, to be honest. I didn't really care too much about what was going on. To me, it just didn't feel like it mattered that much. So I'm hoping that they can do something more with Pete Dunne.
They are going to, because if you remember afterwards, the lights go out, and this figure appears, catches Dunn from behind, hits the crossroads, even though it's his own version of it, and he does a cool arrow shot to the screen. He shows his name, Damian Priest. Damian Priest has been on NXT for a while. He's had some, I think he squashed Keith Lee 2 months ago. He squashed some jobbers. I know you haven't followed him much in Ring of Honor. In Ring of Honor, he was a real big deal.
Okay.
He's kind of he has this cool, gothic look. And he's a big guy. I think he's 6'6", 250. So he's a bigger guy. And I think they're building between Dunn and him, which I think would be a good test for Priest because he's only been in the business, I believe, 5 years. So it's kind of this young versus, Pete Dunne's still young, but it's experienced guy versus younger guy. And it's trying to make his name. I think it's going to be an interesting style. I was just wondering what your take was on the whole Damian Priest presentation.
I thought it was pretty neat to see that, and that kind of got me a bit more excited. That's what the thing is, that I can only look up and hope for more, and that's kind of what's got me excited. But yeah, just nothing.
One thing I will say, the crowd was so alive for everything that happened on NXT.
Yeah, that's what. That's
the only
great.
thing I will say is when you're watching so much wrestling, it's just, I will not lie, there's some parts of this night where I tuned out a bit because oh my god, 2 hours of wrestling after I watched 2 hours of other wrestling. Don't get me wrong, this is a more exciting type part of the week, but there are some parts that are going to drag.
Yeah, that's kind of my one thing that I'll talk about with this at the near the middle of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, maybe a 2.5 for this match. For me, it was fine on a technical level. I did enjoy the technical aspects of it, and it had some pretty nice high spots. I love Pete Dunne's finisher. I think the bitter end is a great finisher. Yeah, but other than that, it just didn't do too much else for me.
And then we're off to the backstage interview where Adam Cole is getting interviewed by Kathy Kelly, the beautiful Kathy Kelly. And then Undisputed Era joins. It's just basically just a promo talking about how we need to focus, we need to hold all the gold, fulfill the prophecy. And then there's
fulfill the prophecy.
This beautiful promo package hyping up the main event between Street Profits and the Undisputed Era over the tag belts, and then Street Profits bring their entrance up with Wale.
I was gonna ask you. I'm did you even know who Wale is?
Yes. Did you ever watch the rap battle between the New Day and the Usos?
Yes.
He's the guy who officiated it.
Oh.
He's a big wrestling fan.
Okay.
So
Well, I figured he was a huge wrestling
fan. I feel like Wale should have sang their song. I was hoping to sing the song instead. He's just chanting random shit.
See, here's the thing: is I think I'm not super familiar with either the Undisputed or the Street Profits, but I was really hoping for the Street Profits in this. When I saw he was coming out to them, the entire time all I could think about was how bad his music is.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I was thinking.
The thing I would have to say is that I thought the entrance was still pretty dope, though. I kind of liked it. They all had the real solo cups in the air.
I did like how he was hyping them up, though, the entire time. I thought that was great. It was just a stupid thing.
But whose entrance was better?
What?
Kyle O'Reilly is working that guitar on that belt. He's the coolest man ever. Let's get into this match, this great main event match. It's a quick sizing up. The Profits look good early. Fish and Riley finally get a chance to work over Ford, but Ford gets out of it. Him and Dawkins start to out wrestle because Dawkins used to be an amateur wrestler. Mm-hmm. They start working over Riley and Fish. Profits are on top. Ford starts showing off his athleticism, but gets cut off by Fish and O'Reilly, and they start working over Ford, and then they start doing they start cutting the ring. They start doing all these technical stuff. They do great tag team heel work. They get their heat in. One funny part of this match is O'Reilly starts dancing in the middle of the ring in front of Dawkins. I'm just like, wow,
that was just like, wow, you dick.
There was a couple of hope spots though. There was Ford got a quick roll up, but it was kicked out of. I thought it was kind of interesting that they didn't mention this, but Fish actually hit some snap 3 amigos after Ford tried to fight back. I thought it was a cool little touch. Fish and O'Reilly do a good job cutting off the ring, as I mentioned. Ford keeps trying to tag. There's finally an opportunity for Ford to get a tag, and then Fish pulls Dawkins off. And they go into their second round of heat.
Yeah, the entire match I just kept saying, he's like, oh, here's a chance to get the thing. Oh wait, that's not gonna happen, and then it didn't happen.
But it was good though, because when they finally had the tag, it makes it a big fiery comeback. It's a good tag team match. I love this double team move they did, where Riley hits the double arm DDT, and then he kicks up, and then there's a big high angle suplex. Only a 2. They continue to work over Ford. Fish and Riley start cheating on the stretch, the abdominal stretch to grab the hands. I thought the ref was doing great work in this, being like, hey, Riley, don't do that. Stop being a dumb asshole. Then they finally get the hot tag. Dawkins comes in, big house of fire, starts hitting people.
Fuck them.
The only problem I had with this, and it's a big complaint everyone gives about Dawkins, I'm not trying to pile on because I'm actually a fan of Angelo Dawkins, but his when he was hitting them with the big charges and all that, it was kind of sloppy. They were kind of out of place.
Yeah.
His tackles weren't that great. The spear on Fish was good, though.
I don't know. His kind of would you call those lariats? I don't know. Or
they were shoulder tackles.
Shoulder tackle. They're kind of high up on the bicep, though.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
It was. I just felt like for being for being a guy of his size, I feel like he was just capable of a bit more.
Yeah, that's the problem. Everyone just wants to see Ford on his own, which I can see, but I like the tag team. I would give it. I mean,
you always need more better tag teams like that.
That's true. Riley and Dawkins start squaring up until Dawkins hits his amazing capture plex for 2. Dawkins goes. He starts to try to fire up, go for the spear, until he gets hit with a big knee from Riley. They start working over Dawkins' leg a bit. They do this. This knee draped dragon screw, which is kind of cool. Then they got cut off. Fish cuts off Ford with a guillotine.
Oh, I love that moment. That was great.
So yeah, they have him in a leg lock, right? They have Dawkins in the leg, and then Fish runs across, puts Ford in the guillotine, and then he bounces off the rope and just slams into him. He
was in a full guard guillotine, so he was holding on to him.
Yeah. So
and then he comes over, bounces off the fucking ropes, and then slams him.
The best spot of this match I thought was so Dawkins fights off Riley. Riley tags in Fish. Fish goes to the top rope, goes for the dive, and then Dawkins just jumps out of the way and tags Ford, and he just biffs the splash and just hits the side. Then a big frog splash. I'm like, oh, they won. GG. But nope. Big kick out. Then they go outside. They're brawling outside, and then Ford does that amazing dive to the outside. I loved it. Then Ford looks like he's going to finish this off. He goes for the big frog splash, but Mr. Roddy Strong comes in, gets pushed off, big spear onto the apron. Loved it. But the distraction is enough for them to hit the high and low, the big knee and the leg sweep.
That is such a good looking move, the high and low.
And then I give this match. I thought it was a great tag team match. I gave it 3 3/4 stars out of 5. I would have gave it 4, but there's some sloppy moments. I thought the heat was a little too long here and there.
I didn't think about that earlier. I forgot about quarter stars.
Yeah.
I forgot about that the entire time.
Yeah, wow. I gave it 3 1/4 stars.
Yeah, no, actually, I would give it 3 1/4 stars too. I thought this was a pretty solid tag team match overall. I was really hoping for Street Profits to pick up a win, but I do respect the fact what they're going with the Undisputed Era, like kind of holding every fucking thing, except for now that Cruiserweight, since 205 Live is dead.
I don't think they're going to care about that one as much.
No, not really.
But let's talk about the ending. That
unless they just decide, fuck it, Finn Balor's going to become a part of the Undisputed Era and give him... No,
that would kind of ruin it.
Yeah, but ooh, that ending.
Yeah,
Adam Cole.
To it?
Boy.
Undisputed Era celebrates, obviously, because the three in the ring. Adam Cole comes out, and whose music hits? Whose music hits? It was the Yeti. The Yeti comes out and dry humps Cole. No, it was Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa returns. It was kind of great. He's walked around him. He's sizing him up.
Decided to be Tommaso Ciampa.
He was just staring at Goldie. He wants Goldie back. But I think this adds a cool wrinkle in because everyone's hoping that there's going to be a Finn Balor versus Tommaso Ciampa #1 contendership match. The only thing that I have a slight problem, like I'm cool with this, it was an awesome moment, but I thought Ciampa would go with Gargano because that's the rivalry they're sizing up to until he got injured.
Yeah, I thought that was definitely going to be the thing for the longest time, but I think it's fine, kind of going for a #1 contender match to get Adam Cole, but it's kind of funny how they dropped the whole Gargano Ciampa rivalry since he got injured, and what is he out for, like 6-7 months or something?
I think it was 8 or 9.
8 or 9, fuck, even longer than I thought.
Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of odd that they just dropped that in favor of this, but I kind of understand it because he might not have that long to wrestle anymore, but it is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was NXT. Now on to AEW
hey.
Dynamite.
Your overall thoughts of NXT?
It was a pretty mediocre show. The Yeti came out. Dry humped Cole for now. I thought it was a really good showing. It was pretty much just like they spunked their load. It was a mini, it was pretty much a mini takeover. Like 3 title matches. All their big stars was out. I thought it was like a good. They obviously did this because they were going head to head. Also, the fact that NXT got an extra 15 minutes on USA just to
kind of overlap AEW, but I feel the same way. I feel like they kind of blew their load right away, and then had a couple spurts in the middle, and then kind of teetered out towards the end.
Yeah, I think like the first match, the last match were obviously the best. There was some good, don't get me wrong, the matches were great in there, but I felt like it didn't really progress too many stories. It's pretty much like, here's our champions.
Yeah, that's it.
Except for like Adam Cole, they progressed. Like Adam Cole has 2 new challengers in Finn Balor and Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, so I mean overall it's a pretty solid NXT, but it's overshine when I talk about what's
If I was to
coming
give
next.
the star rating overall to the show, I'd probably give it a 3.5, 3 3/4. I'd probably give it 3.5. No, I'll give it a 3 3/4 just because the promo packages really put it over the edge. I thought it was a really, really solid show.
Shit.
Should also mention we're doing this podcast at like 2 in the morning.
It's not 2 in the morning, is it? Oh, holy shit! It is 2 in the morning. Wow. No, it's almost 3. Anyways, I just lost my train of thought. Words, wrestling, NXT, AEW, sucking dick. 3.25 stars. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I'd probably give this total show. It was pretty good overall, but my attention was just waning throughout the thing. There were some parts that picked me up, like right off the bat, they had my full attention. Yeah. And then it waned, and then they caught it again, and then it waned, and then they caught it again, and that's just kind of, it was just an up and down throughout the thing rather than one consistent. And so, yeah, more or less that's about it for that. We've been talking for an hour about NXT.
Yep.
And we have AEW. This is going to be a whole hell of a lot shorter, I'll tell you that much.
It'll be longer next time.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Anyways, AEW, first ever show on TNT. And
Well, AEW's first show on TNT because WCW used to be on there.
No, I mean like first ever of their shows on TNT.
They're no longer a T-shirt company.
Yeah, no longer a T-shirt company. No longer just somebody who just gives you a nice hand job but doesn't finish you. Yeah, overall I'll start off just because this is the first show ever. Their presentation was fucking top notch. Holy shit. But it was like distinct in a way where it didn't feel like just a direct like WWE ripoff. I didn't feel like, oh hey, this is just fucking Raw 2.0. This is just SmackDown.
I will say, out of all the wrestling I've watched throughout the years, this presentation is the best I've seen besides WWE.
Yeah, because like obviously you have New Japan and they're in a different league of their own. I think they're more about kind of like definitely a lot more kind of like goes into it than I think than a lot of these ones can put into it, because I don't think they always have the time in these ones. But
yeah,
anyways, definitely stands out as a competitor to WWE. But yeah, not really any technical hiccups throughout the entire thing. I don't think I remember any.
I don't think so either.
I didn't see any fuck ups with the title cards, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because the last couple ones that they had were fucking hilarious.
Yeah. JR, the one thing I want to mention about the commentary is I feel like JR, at the beginning of every AEW show, is like kind of weak on commentary, but later and later into the shows he gets better and better.
Yeah.
He just needs to become more familiar with the talent.
Yeah, I feel like he's been out of the loop for some time, so now he's like just
still amazing commentary. I love the team of him, Tony Schiavone, Excalibur.
It was great, and honestly, except for one later that we'll talk. Actually, you know what? Let's address her right now. Fucking Britt Baker on commentary.
For the women's title, yeah, she did.
For the women's title, she just sounded so uncomfortable the entire time. She just did not sound like she
Schiavone would ask her questions, and she'd just be like, "Yes, no,
yes, no, maybe."
I want the title.
And then the what was the one question he had? Like, wouldn't you rather be out there than in here? And then she sounded so offended.
It's like, obviously.
I mean, obviously, like, boy, like, fuck me. It threw me off, her being on commentary. I don't know if they'll keep doing that. Maybe they'll have some different people on there, but yeah, it's just I don't think they should. Either have her like give her some like suggestions on what she can fix, or like just don't have her on again.
Just have her wrestle. She's good in the ring.
Yeah. Anyways, so we'll go through these in order of their appearance, because that's the only thing we do. I don't know why I would point that out as a fact. That was fucking retarded.
It's late.
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. It's getting to be. I'm like hitting 2:00 morning, Colton. Shout out to you, Colton.
Watch our botany podcast as well.
Yeah.
Where we talk about plants.
Yeah, they sound a lot more intelligent than I ever could. So yeah, kicking off the night was actually something I didn't expect. I thought it would have been a lot more of a build up towards one of like this one as like one of the final 3, but they had Cody versus Sammy Guevara right away, and yeah, that was kind of an interesting thing that kind of threw me off. But you know what, kicking it off with that match was probably one of the smarter things to do, because like Cody's quite a well-known name. People might remember him from WWE, and people definitely know him from New Japan and a lot of his other indie promotions. Overall, this match was really a solid starter single match to kick off AEW.
Those spots though, Brandy Rhodes.
Those spots, the fucking tope suicida
right to Brandy's face.
Right into Brandy's face.
That was the only way they could have turned Guevara heel.
I know, and that was funny because when I was watching that, Jasmine was seeing that. He's just like, Cody's a fucking idiot. And I'm like, do you not know how momentum works at all?
Yeah.
Anyways, that just made me laugh.
Spanish Fly.
Yeah, the Spanish Fly. Mouth got really dry there. Yeah, but this match was pretty solid overall.
Well, what do you think about the finish?
What was the finish again?
The shooting star press into the knees.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Overall, like, this match kind of... It didn't go one-sided throughout the entire thing. I definitely felt like Cody was selling real well for Guevara and really actually put him over as a credible threat as to something, because a lot of people will just kind of like put this as like, oh, it's just going to be a one-off, but in this match I actually felt like Guevara could actually be a credible threat to Cody, even though I kind of knew Cody was going to win this one. But yeah, the shooting star press right into the knees, I was like kind of like clutching my fucking stomach after that.
I was just a really big fan that Cody won by a roll-up, so it didn't really damage Guevara's credibility.
Yeah, that's kind of what I liked about it, is that even though Cody only won by a roll-up, I still felt like Guevara could have gotten right back up and kept fighting throughout of it. Yeah, I don't know why I had to think about it. I was like, how did he didn't win by crossroads. But yeah, honestly, I thought that this was a pretty good match to kind of build up both guys as very credible competitors, and the way they turned Sammy heel, even though for some reason he went to go shake Cody's hand at the end.
Well, he kind of turned face again.
He could have, but at the same time, I kind of like how they went with this.
Especially since we'll see Sammy Guevara later on.
Yeah, and I do like Jasmine's analogy of Sammy Guevara is that he's a flopping fish, even though he only had like a couple flips. Yeah, and I'm just like, what is just every guy a fucking. And every guy that does a flip is just a small guy. Like, thanks, Vince. Anyways, and then to kick off this match, you had the handshake between Cody and Sammy. But then you got good old fucking Jericho coming in, being a piece of shit as always.
One thing I will add, sorry to cut you off, is
no, it's okay.
The beatdown I felt was a little too long. Like, they should have just ended it. I know they were doing it during commercial break.
But, okay,
I love the selfie camera.
The selfie thing was the greatest thing. Chris Jericho never ceases to amaze me of how much of a fucking dick he can be. And that's what is great about him being a heel, is that he always keeps me entertained every time I see him. And I like how fucking Sammy just kind of like, after Chris Jericho just comes in and just fucking punches him right in the back of the head.
Sammy just runs.
Sammy just like, he's like, ooh, fuck this. Just like backs up and yeah, just gets the fuck out of there.
It's great character work from all three.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like this is good to help build up towards Full Gear with Cody versus Chris Jericho. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just Chris Jericho being Chris Jericho, being a fucking dick.
Well, how would you rate the match?
Overall, this match is Wait, what did I put for this? I think I just put flopping fish because of Jasmine. but overall, the match was pretty solid as the first match, and I'd probably give it like maybe like a 3.5, 3.25, something like that. It kept my it wasn't like super special or anything. It wasn't like any technical thing that oh, by the way, and I almost forgot about this, the disaster kick that Cody hit on this. Yeah. Oh my God, that move is so fucking good. I know it's just a simple, just a jump off the middle thing into a like just.
Oh, it's a beautiful looking move.
But holy fuck, Sammy sold the shit out of that.
Yeah, that flip bump.
Yeah, just the like how he like he just fucking he flipped for that, but then fucking like stumbled his ass all the way to the top rope for that inverted. I would call that inverted superplex.
That's inverted superplex.
Yeah, but holy fuck, was his selling phenomenal. That's also what I'll say with Sammy. He's got fucking talent.
Yeah.
Anyways,
to give my rating on the match, if anybody cares, I would give it 4 stars out of 5. I thought it was an amazing opener. Much like I put it on par with the Cole Riddle match, which a lot of people would probably disagree. I thought it told an amazing story of these two characters, and it showed everyone that Sammy Guevara is like a main event player.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And I mean, I kind of felt like the match was cut a little bit short. I know it's obviously for time constraints being a 2-hour show now.
Yeah. And
I felt like they could have done a bit more, but I felt like it was more to its hindrance rather to its benefit. Because a lot of matches can benefit from being super short.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got people like Brock Lesnar or Goldberg, who are very much thrive in short matches.
Yeah.
And I felt like this match maybe could have been like scripted a little bit better, a little bit less like dicking around with like a lot of the selling and like the tope suicida right into Brandy. So I felt
I love that part.
I as much as I love it, I felt like if they were gonna really sell this match for something good, why the fuck is your shirt like 10 feet wider?
Because I gotta let everyone know I'm a douche.
All right.
Because I'm on the WWE side.
But yeah, it's just I kind of wanted a little bit more of it. Kept me wanting more, which is a good thing because I do want to see more from these guys. Anyways, let's move on. Next one, we got MJF versus Brandon Cutler. Oh my god! Every time MJF comes out onto the screen, he never ceases to entertain me.
Amazing heel.
What a fucking asshole. Like, okay, Chris Jericho is just a dick whenever he's around, but MJF is just that guy. He just by smiling, he
has a punchable face.
He's got like one of the most punchable faces of all time. And just him, whenever he calls someone a fucking, like, just a nerd, it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
And then Brandon Cutler, what the fuck was with that creepy lip licking thing?
I have no idea.
What he just staring down MJF, just these fucking lips.
What I never noticed, he just looked like
the only reason
like I don't want to take the piss out of this man because he's close to the Young Bucks, but he just seemed like a very generic.
Yeah,
guy.
He's honestly, to be honest, and I don't want to be a fucking dick, but I was like, wait, isn't this guy in SCU? I'm sorry.
He's Christopher Daniels,
just because he's
jacked.
Just because he's fucking bald. He's not jacked, and he's slightly shorter or taller, or no, he's quite a bit taller actually. Anyways, Brandon Cutler definitely has a lot of potential. It's just the fucking. The whole bald thing really threw me off. I feel like he needs a little bit of a better gimmick.
I don't even know what his gimmick is.
I don't even know, to be honest. Overall, this is a really short match.
It was a squash.
It was a squash match. I thought Cutler would have had a little bit more like time to shine in this, but it was a really short match. It was just basically to build up MJF as.
What I found funny, sorry to cut you off, is that MJF and Matt Riddle have the same finish, just the Fujiwara armbar.
Oh yeah, that too, and that was kind of like weird that I thought he would tap out to a Fujiwara armbar so quickly. It was just a really quick finish out of nowhere. And I mean, MJF, fucking fantastic as always. He knows how to get people to hate him. Yeah. But that's what I don't understand is, how is he a heel but he's friends with Cody? I know Cody can go back and forth with being
because he's
a heel.
kissing his ass.
I know, but like, what the fuck? Why wouldn't... I feel like as a heel, why would he not just like team up with Chris Jericho and like...
Oh, because he thinks he's better than everybody.
I know he's the salt of the earth. Yeah, it's just a squash match, though. There's not really too much special. It's just the comedy of the match is what keeps it up. Yeah. It's just seeing fucking MJF be MJF is what kind of keeps it entertaining. If it was
introduces him to the masses.
And you know what? If it was... Here's the problem, is I would give it a 2.5 stars.
Yeah.
Only reason is that replace MJF with, like, any other generic wrestler, and there's not really much there.
Yeah.
There's not really anything.
That's what my rating for it's just a 2.
And yeah.
2 stars just because it's a squash. You can't really rate it that high.
Yeah, I'm on like.
It just carries it. It just put him. It's just to put MJF over.
Yeah, the 2.5 for me is basically just I'm on the fence. I had no strong feelings towards it at all. Mm-hmm. The only positive parts about it is really the comedy of it. And
MJF won.
Yeah, MJF won obviously. And I'm hoping Brandon Cutler gets used a little bit better. I hope he has he can come up with a better gimmick or something. I don't know, I can't really think of anything to do it, but maybe if we get to see more of what he can do, it'll be better. Maybe
he just goes back to editing videos. Ooh.
Pairing him with someone else, maybe. I don't know, but anyways, that's about it for that. And then we had SCU addressing the Tag Team Championships. you got them doing their normal shtick, but this time as fucking Barack Obama.
That was amazing.
Oh my god.
This made me love Scorpio Sky.
I fucking love these three. They have such good chemistry with each other and can play off each other so fucking well.
Yeah.
Their skits are fucking fantastic.
Yeah, they're definitely the third best tag team in the AEW. Behind Luchasaurus.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it is great as a quick little promo type thing for it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, because it put into perspective the tag tournament that's going to be
starting
next week.
Yeah, exactly. Because it kind of it laid out the brackets for everything. Just Dark Order, just bye.
Because they beat Best Friends.
I know. I just like how they just put bye underneath them. It fucking made me laugh.
Because it's bye because they're not going to win. Ooh. Here, throw this at you. Who do you think is going to win the tag tournaments?
Who are the Young Bucks facing in the first one again? Is it
Private Party?
Private Party. I think it's a good chance it'll be either the Young Bucks or because it's the Young Bucks, Private Party, Best Friends, Boy and His Dinosaur, or the Luchasaurus Express and SCU, the Dark Order, and that's it.
Yeah, there should be only 7.
Well, that's 6.
What are you missing then? You got the Lucha Bros, Young Bucks, SCU, Private Party,
Best Friends,
Boy and His
Dinosaur, and then Dark Order. I think that's everything. Am I retarded?
Let me just look this up quickly.
Yeah, I just stop being retarded. Because this is going to bug me if I don't know.
It's going to bug me too.
Okay, so yeah, we got Young Bucks, Private Party, Lucha Bros.
We do have everybody.
Jurassic Express.
That's what they're calling them now.
I thought they were...
Best Friends, SCU, Dark Order. Fuck you, Angelico and Jack Evans.
They just hate them, don't they? Yeah, you know what? It's a hard one to call. I think they might give Best Friends a push.
That's what I was thinking.
I think they're going to give Best Friends another rematch against the Dark Order.
You know what I honestly think is going to happen? I think the Young Bucks is going to lose in the first round to Private Party.
Really?
Just because later in the night we'll talk about why. I think interferes. But yeah.
Honestly, I think it's going to end up being the Young Bucks versus the Best Friends, but that's just me. I think Jurassic Express will go on past the Lucha Bros.
Wow.
I know.
That's bold.
But okay, but here's the thing. They won back their AAA championship.
Yeah,
so
no.
what's really their motivation?
I think the real question we should be asking is why isn't Luchasaurus the world champion?
You just want him to fucking be the big man.
He's my man.
Okay. Anyways, that's my prediction. But then we also got Lucha Bros interrupting SCU in the middle of that, and I mean, it was short. There wasn't really much that happened. The Lucha Bros did their normal thing.
I really want to see that feud, to be honest.
I feel like somebody always runs out in my apartment building and just slaps the fucking fire bell just for the fun of it.
I thought if it went off, it would have been so annoying. Like, our podcast.
I'd just ignore it.
This is the most professional podcast ever.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that promo pretty entertaining. Nothing too crazy about it, but it definitely got me interested for the tag championships. And then we got. My favorite fucking match of the entire all the matches. We had Pac versus the Hangman Adam Page.
Ooh. The bastard.
Man, this match was actually like fucking great. These two had so much fucking. I feel these two have so much chemistry in the ring, and I know you're not a big Hangman guy.
Here's what I'll say. I do like Hangman. It's just I'm not sold on him as a main eventer yet. I see him being one soon. It's just.
I'll tell you what though. With this is even despite I give me that face. I kind of do see where you're coming from with Hangman, though I disagree. I do feel he is main event status.
Oh, so you disagree. So what you're saying is I'm wrong.
Yes, you're fucking wrong, you loser. Pac or Pac, whatever. I think it's Pac, but they call him Pac.
He's Pokemon.
Anyways, holy shit! I've never seen a more dominant heel than Pac. Like, holy shit! He actually makes me think that if he went up against Chris Jericho, he would win without a doubt. Like, Chris Jericho definitely put up a fight, but holy shit, I think Pac has been like one of the absolute scariest motherfuckers that you could go up against. And he's not a big guy. He's pretty fucking average.
I mean, look how jacked he is.
But holy shit, like, just seeing how talented this fucker is. Like, I'm...
Sorry, don't call him a fucker. Call him by his proper name, bastard.
This bastard. But, like, seriously, I just couldn't get enough in this match. I know Donovan didn't really think about it the same way, but honestly, I just think...
thought it was a good match. Whoa.
You were just shitting on it the entire time.
Oh, bullshit.
You're just like...
He's just trying to... Look, my podcast's getting overtaken by Judge Lemon, it seems like. He's trying to bury me on here. He thinks it's Triple H 2002.
Except there's nothing to bury.
Ooh.
But yeah, no, this match, honestly, was fucking fantastic for me. There was a lot of really great spots. I actually at one point during the thing, I thought he was gonna wiggle out of the Pac was gonna wiggle out of the Deadeye into a brutalizer again. I thought he was just gonna say like, "Hey, you want to get Kenny Omega again?"
Oh.
Soon. Too soon. But a lot of great match, a lot of teases for the Black Arrow, a lot of the time, and I love Pac's face every time he doesn't hit the Black Arrow, where he's just holding onto the ropes and he's just staring at them, just like, really, like, really. But yeah, overall the last bit of it was after Pac used the ref to block himself from getting hit by Hangman. Hangman threw him to the side, and then Pac gave him a good old kick in the dick.
That's how you win matches, man.
Yeah. And so what I wrote down is like, he keeps on kicking me in the dick, and I just got shades of fucking Shinsuke and AJ in that. But
isn't that how the W title only changed hands if you kick him in the dick?
Yeah, that's exactly how you win a WWE title. But yeah, then Pac rolled him into position, hit him with a Black Arrow, and then fucking decided that wasn't enough, so he hit him with the Brutalizer as well. And that
here's the one thing I was confused about with the finish. Did he tap, or did the ref just say this is enough?
No, I think I'm not sure. I don't think he tapped. I think what happened is that they look at it the same way he did with Kenny, is that he was passed out.
Yeah.
Or he just, because like, I don't think you really can tap out in a situation like that, so they just kind of like say, oh, he's fucking out. So even though I didn't think it was a choke, I don't think there's anything choking him. I think
it just fucks up your rotators, eh?
Yeah, well, maybe he's saying tap and we just can't hear that he just gives. But anyways, so Pac won this one, and it was I think it was honestly a really great match overall.
What's your star rating for it?
Honestly, I'd probably give this one a 4.25. This one was a really solid match overall.
Do you want to hear mine?
What's that?
I give him 1 star because his ears look weird. No, in all seriousness, I thought it was honestly, I did think it was a really good match. My co-host is just mad at me because I thought that a match we're getting on to later, it was the best match of the week.
I will admit this though, the ad in the middle of it, and this wasn't just in AEW.
We'll talk about
all
the ads.
But the ad in the middle interrupting it, especially with a lot of the selling on the outside of the ring when they were throwing each other around.
Yeah.
Fucking so annoying. Fuck.
Yeah, I would give this match, I'd give it 3 3/4 stars. I thought it was a really good job of building up Pac to be this big monster.
Mm-hmm. That's what I enjoy about it.
I just don't know what they're going to do with Pac from here, so I'm excited to see that.
Honestly, I feel in this, they're going to... It's a tough one.
Because he's beaten Omega and he's beaten...
He beaten Hangman, and right now we're going to have Cody versus Jericho. So unless they're going to somehow maybe do have a...
You know what would be cool?
What?
Pac versus Dustin.
That could be neat to see, but I honestly, what I think they're gonna do is they're gonna instead decide to do a Pac versus Cody match in the near future, and then have Pac take his place.
Well, Cody did say that they've only shown, I think it was like 85% of their roster.
No, they said they showed like only like 50 or 60. They have.
So they might still have like some new people that come in that he can feud with.
And this is just me theorizing.
Besides, we will talk about the one big debut at the end.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, they could have him go up against Chris Jericho because, I mean, I don't see Pac ever teaming up with other people.
Well, the thing is Cody does have the best winning record, because Pac is technically new to the company, so he's only won 2 matches.
Well, now he's 3-0.
No, he's 2-0. He's only beaten Omega and Page.
Oh, yeah,
because he couldn't do the other matches.
Never mind, yeah, you're right.
You know what they could do?
What?
Pac versus Moxley after he's done with Omega.
Yeah, that's true. I could see that happening as well. Maybe have at the end of Mox versus Kenny, if Mox pulls out a win in that, Pac comes in and just beats the shit out of Kenny.
If Mox pulls out a win on that, poor Omega, because Omega's lost to Jericho and Pac already. If he loses to Mox...
Yeah, or...
To be fair, Mox hasn't won a match yet, because he hasn't had a match in AEW.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. He beat Joey Janela.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. But I feel like they would build up Mox in this case. But
Oh, I know who Pac can face. Jimmy Havoc. Just have a death match. Why not?
Just literally.
Just 2 bastards fighting each other.
They fucking kill each other. Yeah, I mean, there's many ways they can go, but I guess we'll just have to see. Now, here's the one that you fucking love much.
The women's title match. We had Rio versus Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's Championship. And oh my god, this match had so many good moments during it. Here's one thing I want to say and cut you off before you get into it. This match actually got a lot of criticism online. It's a lot of back and forth.
I know.
Just because Nyla did some... She tried to hit... Sorry to ruin some of the spots and just jump all over the place.
No, go ahead.
She did the steel chair thing where she almost got herself disqualified. Yes, I agree. It was kind of dumb.
That was a moment I think like, wow, finally, ref, somebody's fucking paying attention for once.
Yeah, no, it was kind of dumb that Nyla did that. And then she also had her in STF and Rio looked like she was about to pass out and then she got out of it. Mm-hmm. But to be honest, I think that showed the desperation, Nyla, and the inexperience, because... I thought it was kind of weird they had Nyla go into this, because Rio has already beat her in the triple threat. She actually pinned her. And then Nyla also lost the fatal 4-way in the first match.
Yeah, I kind of find it weird that just because she won the fucking...
Because Rio is 3-0, and Nyla is 0-2 in singles matches.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I found it kind of weird that she would win just because she won the Rumble, that she would just have the chance to go right for it. I kind of felt like it was a bit pieced together really quickly. Mm-hmm. I feel like I don't think she's definitely signed to another thing right now. Would have really rather have had somebody like Teal Piper or like Britt Baker or Be a Priestley, somebody like that go up against her, but that's just me. I have nothing wrong with Nyla. Fuck, I would rather even have Awesome Kong go up against her. That would have been great to see.
I just want Awesome Kong versus Aja Kong.
But, this match had a lot of really good moments. The fucking senton onto the chairs.
Oh, yeah.
That was great. Actually, there was one moment where it looked like Nyla was setting up Rio for a fucking, some sort of powerbomb. But then Rio kind of, like, tried to pick up Nyla and fall over. And initially I thought it was a botch or something, but I was just thinking, like, she's so desperate to try to pull out a win in this. I couldn't even see it as a botch anymore. And then at that moment, Nyla just kind of like sells it as, haha, you're not nearly strong enough to beat me. What do you got? We got the draping ropes where Nyla fucking hits her with
murdered her?
Yeah, holy shit. She turned her inside out.
You know what I don't like about Rhea?
What?
That she's younger than us and she's more talented than us. She's only 22.
We'll never be that good, Donovan. Yeah, overall, a lot of good moments. Like, definitely Nyla sold for Rio quite well.
I love the finish, though, because she hit the Northern Suplex off the top rope, Rio, which was impressive, and then she hits the knees to win.
Yeah, the double knee strike. That was
also, some people complained about the belt because it was pretty small.
Yeah, that was one thing I found kind of weird. I mean,
I love the belt design. I thought it looked pretty cool.
It was definitely good looking, but compared, like, to... I don't know if this... Maybe it's just my perception of it, but... I definitely think the men's championship is quite a bit bigger than the women's.
Yeah, because maybe that's why a lot of people thought it was telegraphed that Nyla was going to lose. Because how is Nyla supposed to wear that? But I'm like, I've seen Big Show pick up small belts too.
Those belts are much bigger than people think.
Yeah,
they're adjustable. I don't think people get that. They have multiple sizes.
I mean, Andre never wore the belt because he was too big.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, whatever. It's fine. And this match was pretty solid overall. I thought it was fucking a great David versus the light's broken, boy. The light doesn't even work. Anyways, this is a great David versus Goliath type match. Yeah. Like, definitely, I wanted Rio to win, but I did not know if she had it in her to pull it out.
I was super surprised when Rio won.
So honestly, this is a 4-star match for me.
I love the aftermath too, like the whole shoot element of Kenny Omega coming out to save her. Because he was the one who signed her.
Yeah, Nyla freaks the fuck out and goes after her, and then Kenny comes out to save her from getting fucking murdered.
Yeah. So. My star rating for this match is I gave it 4.5 stars out of 5. I thought it was the best match of this week. Probably one of the best matches of this year. I was just on my edge the entire time. You see the crowd just cheering Riho on, and she made a believer out of me because I was a Yuka Sakazaki girl.
Yeah.
Which I want to see Yuka Sakazaki versus Riho. Book it Vince or Cody or TonyKhan or whatever. That should be the main events of Full Gear in my opinion.
One thing about Rio though, I kind of hope they change. I mean, if she doesn't, that's fine. I kind of wish they give her some new type of outfit. I don't know why. I just don't like the outfit.
Oh, I love the princess thing.
I think I feel like just add like some pants or some tights or something to it.
I know. I like the appeal of it because it really shows that she's this tiny little fighter.
She's a little fairy princess.
But no, I thought it was the best match of this week. It blew all the other matches out of the water. I know there's people are going to disagree online, but they can suck my dick. Honestly, this match was it was amazing. It just shows that most of the time the women wrestlers are better than the men, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now we got our main event. Well, actually, I guess it's technically not a main event, but
it's the main event. Let's break this shit down, boy.
All right, so we had Chris Jericho, Ortiz, and Santana versus Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks as
elite. Be elite. I'm sorry, I had to.
I was gonna do the same thing, to be honest. Yeah, so we had Chris Jericho, Ortiz, and Santana versus the Elite. And honestly, I was so fucking hyped up for this match.
Of course, because you're a Kenny Dick Rider.
Wow. You just can't go one Kenny match without shitting on me about Kenny. Can you?
He has a hard on for Kenny.
Just as
but
much
it's fine because I have
as much as you have a fucking hard on for Evil.
I'm sorry that Evil's the best wrestler.
Yeah, I'm sure. So then we had fucking Kenny starting out right away, and who was it? Was it Ortiz or Santana in initially?
Honestly,
I couldn't tell, to be honest.
Here's a bad thing. We didn't watch a lot of Impact, so we don't really know much about Ortiz and Santana. But they impressed me. I love a later spot where where Santana just does a headbutt and just lies there on him.
Yeah, he just falls and headbutts him, or he kind of does like a quick little jump.
I can see why people think they're one of the best tag teams in the world.
Yeah, but yeah, we had it started out. One of the two of them were in, and Kenny's like pointing to Chris Jericho, wanting him to get in there. And so they go and tag him in. Chris Jericho's ready to fight him. And he just gives Kenny a big old middle finger and says, "Fuck you, I'm out."
And yeah, tags back Santana.
Tags him right back in. And
see, I think it's Santana because Ortiz has like the dreads.
Okay, yeah. So it would have been Santana then. And they, him and Kenny wrestle around for a little bit, going back and forth. And this goes on for, I don't know, it was only about 4 or 5 minutes. It was not that long. And then we had the most out of nowhere fucking interruption.
Okay, wait, we have to start with the build up because he's going for his big termination, the clap thing for his dive to the outside. Yeah,
so we have Kenny hyping up the crowd, and then it immediately, because initially we have him hyping up, and it has a wide shot of the entire arena and him hyping up everybody. Mm. Then it cuts into this really close-up view of him.
Yeah.
And then you just see someone dive under the ring and immediately pop up,
fucking Jon Moxley, my boy.
Beautiful visual. I love Kenny's facial. What's the sound?
And
this is not what you're supposed to be doing.
And Kenny's just look of fucking bewilderment on his face was one of the greatest gifs I have ever seen ever. Yeah. Just him seeing.
Sorry, it's pronounced GIF.
No, Jiffy my lube, boy. I'm gonna.
What?
Don't question me.
What?
Don't question me. But yeah, immediately Kenny turns around and Jon Moxley just starts handing him fucking lefts and rights and just beating the loving shit out of him. And basically now we have a 3-on-2 situation of Jericho, Ortiz, and Santana just versus the Young Bucks. Mm-hmm. So we got a handicap match now.
Whoa. Talk about the big spot with Moxley.
Okay, I'll talk about them first. So then we got fucking Moxley and Kenny fighting their way around the ring, and then you got him through the crowd, and just beating the crap out of each other. You got fans jumping in front of the camera, just doing fucking Fortnite dances.
My favorite part was the cleaner part.
And then at some point, Kenny gets back his composure, starts throwing some at Moxley, and just pulls out a goddamn garbage can and just tosses it to Moxley with all the fucking respect of a goddamn with a goddamn lion to a gazelle. Just fucking throws it and walks away. And then you got Moxley coming back for some more, and then Kenny finds the fucking mop and just smacks the shit out of fucking
I like the callback. That was a callback to his cleaner gimmick.
Yeah.
He starts mopping the floor.
Yeah, I think it's more than just a callback, personally. I think it's kind of hinting at a possible heel turn. Maybe something a little bit more. Anything's possible. I mean, I don't think he would have done those previews in the being the Elite YouTube show without reason. Mm-hmm. So maybe I think it could be him going back to the old way that he was, because that was when he was at his most dominant and his most powerful. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, getting all anime on this?
Yeah, getting all anime on this shit.
Get to the climax.
Okay, let's be honest. Wrestling is anime.
Except better.
And then you had the best fucking thing. You got Mox taking over. You got Mox just handing Kenny those lefts and those rights and those fucking knees. You got him hanging over in the VIP lounge.
Before you do this, I have to say, that's a shitty VIP lounge.
That is
Imagine being a VIP and you don't even get to sit ringside. You sit in this weird room.
You sit a fucking mile away from... You don't even get to see the ring in that area.
At least you get to hang out with Kenny and Moxley while they're dead.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because they kind of just forget about them after this. You don't even see what happens. But you got Moxley, you got Kenny head first towards a glass table, sets him right up, and a fucking Death Rider right into the goddamn table.
Glass table.
Except this one actually breaks.
Because it was glass.
But holy shit, that impact and the way Kenny landed, I felt that. That looked painful.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I was jumping. You fart?
Nah, man.
You farted. God damn it. You just ruined my fucking momentum. But yeah, hit him with that thing.
Just like how Ortiz and Santana ruined the Young Bucks.
So yeah, you got Jon Moxley turning Kenny Omega inside out. I'm assuming at this point Jon Moxley just leaves Kenny to die on the floor there.
Well, he just took a nap.
Yeah. Cut back to the match. We got a handicap now. Young Bucks versus Santana, Ortiz, and Chris Jericho. For the most of the time, Ortiz and Santana are just laying into... was it Matt? I think it was Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got him laying into Matt for the majority of it. You got him being thrown out a couple times. He almost got some near tags, but they always interfere, pulling Nick out. Jericho jumps in at some point to slap him around a bunch. But then we got that hot tag that we're waiting for. Builds
Nick
it way.
Just fucked them up.
Yeah, Nick just hands them their asses, and it was actually so great to see him just kind of hand everybody their ass. Even Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho got fucked up.
Yeah.
That kick that he took right upside the head, I was just like, woof. That was fucking dirty. That was a big old boy right to the head. But unfortunately, you got You got them coming back from that.
Well, what happened was they were going from the Meltzer driver and I believe Ortiz.
Meltzer driver.
And then Jericho cuts it off with the code breaker, which is beautiful.
Oh my! That code breaker, holy shit! I didn't think he was gonna bust that out, but yeah, as soon as they were going for the Meltzer driver, I was already standing up, like, yes, hit the Meltzer driver, hit it. But then, as soon as Chris Jericho comes in, you see, was it Nick or Matt that jumped off the top?
It was, I think it was Nick, because Nick took the pinfall at the end.
Okay, yeah. So you got Nick jumping, but it jumps right into, I think one of Santana or Ortiz broke up the hold on him, and then Chris Jericho hits him with a fucking code breaker.
Yeah.
And at this point, all hell's broken loose. They pick him up and set him up for the Judas effect.
And then
that's the 1, 2, 3 pin. There was no way I could see him kicking out of the Judas effect at all.
It's the most over move, brother.
I know I know a lot of people like to shit on the Judas effect, but fuck me, that move looks so brutal.
I like it. I think it looks pretty good.
As a striking move, is one of the greatest moves. People are always like, oh, it's no good, it's no fucking V-trigger, it's no running knee plus.
But everybody does a V-trigger now.
Yeah, I mean, I love myself a knee, like a knee strike, like the V-trigger, the Gamakoye? Was that what Koda's is called?
I don't remember.
Kamigoy?
It's pretty much.
Anyways, same idea. It's a wrist lock knee strike.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan's running knee strike, shit like that. I fucking love that. But the Judas effect is better as an upper body strike, and I love it.
But let's talk about this aftermath.
Oh, I know you're just fucking itching for that. You're just
my boy.
You're just jerking yourself off, just starting.
Oh, I did as soon as I saw my boy show up.
So we got them hit him with the Judas effect, takes the pin, but they're not done with them yet. They're still handing them some lefts, some rights, and keep in mind Kenny's still out of the match at this point. There's no way he's getting up off of that table.
Yeah.
So what order did it go in? So
you showed up first.
So Cody shows. Okay, so they're handing them lefts and rights on the floor. They're just.
So yeah, my podcast partner, by the way, is Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, this is Cody Rhodes here.
His voice got deeper and sexier since you last talked to him.
The Canadian Nightmare. Okay, so you got Cody coming in to save the Bucks at this point because they're just hitting them for no reason. He jumps right for fucking Chris Jericho after his interference earlier on. And, I mean, to be fair, that was kind of deserved. Chris Jericho's an asshole.
He kind of attacked him earlier in the night, too.
But then, you got Sammy Guevara coming in to give Cody a... Did he kick him in the dick?
Yeah, he kicked him in the dick.
He did kick him in the dick. This show loves dick kickings, and I love the fact that they're going to be using dick kickings. Because that's like my favorite thing to see.
That would be your finish.
Just a dick kick.
Yep.
But yeah, you had Cody getting kicked in the dick. Then we had Dustin coming in
full gear and face paint,
which was fucking so weird. And when you pointed that out to me, I'm like, wait, what? Wait, yeah, why? What the fuck?
Because you're in your gear too, right?
Yeah, it's like, was Dustin expecting to wrestle or some shit?
Because it's funny, Cody wasn't in his gear, but Dustin
Cody was in his suit without his jacket, which was weird. Anyways, he had Dustin coming in, giving what?
Getting ready for the best part.
So you had him he gave somebody a fucking broken dreams. And
Guevara.
Yeah, to Sammy Guevara, and then gave a fucking scoop slam. And it was beautiful. But.
The best part.
And Donovan.
This main event ended with a little swagger, if you might say.
And Donovan's fucking sweating at this point. But the one, the only, the formerly known as the Yeti. Just coming in to give...
And just triumphs.
Just
triumphs. No, it was Jake Hager.
It was Jack Hager, formerly known...
Jack Hager. It's Jake Hager.
Jake Hager?
Yeah, it's Jake Hager.
Oh, it's Jake... Okay.
That's his real name.
Formerly known as Jack Swagger from WWE. One of the most underused people of all time. Come on.
Huh?
Are you kidding me? They fucked him up.
No, a lot of people. Well, there's some backlash online because they're like, "Oh, it's just WCW bringing in a bunch of WWE guys." No, I like the aesthetic of Jake Hager coming in on a serious note, just because he's like, there's not many big guys there. There's like Luchasaurus, and that's it.
There's Luchasaurus.
When he comes in, just tosses Dustin like he nothing. I was just like, ooh.
My God, like just seeing how dominant Jake Hagar is in this match, in this beatdown was amazing. Holy shit!
That gut wrench onto the table.
That gut wrench suplex onto the table. They pulled out one, fucking grabs Dustin and just smashes the shit out of him onto that table, and they just pile up all the fucking bodies, all the dead people right there. Just fucking Cody, Dustin, and the Bucks all on there. And now we got a new stable.
Mex-Americans.
Mex-Americans.
3 Americans, 1 Canadian, 1 American. The Mex-Americans.
But aren't the
fine, I got better name. The Panda Soldiers.
Aren't Santana and Ortiz fucking aren't they fucking
They're like Mex-Americans. So like they're from America, but they're Mexican.
I thought they were Puerto Rican.
I might be wrong.
I think they're Puerto Rican.
They were part of LAX, which I think was a Mexican thing.
Okay. Anyways, yeah.
Either way, they like tacos.
And that was the end of the night. Just Jack Hagar making that fucking angry ass face of his.
I think he was just surprised he got a pop.
Yeah. No.
So how would you rate that whole final segment and match?
Honestly, there's not really much to find fault in it. It's honestly, I did want to see like
the only thing that would have made it better is if the Yeti actually showed up.
The Yeti, actually, the original Yeti,
just dry humping fucking Dustin.
If they had actually had a match, I don't know if it would have been that good, but I'm sure they would have put on a great show. But seeing actually the Elite versus Jericho, Ortiz, and Santana would probably be really good, but I think this was better to kind of further on the story. So, in terms of match quality, it was pretty meh.
Really? I thought it was really high-paced. I liked it.
But, in terms of story quality is what blows it out of the fucking park for me.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing in here that was really like, oh, holy shit, that was crazy. Like, there was a couple, like, there's obviously high spots and stuff. I always love me a good old Judas effect.
Yeah.
The close to the Meltzer driver, the code breaker being busted out was great. But it was like stuff that we've seen before. We've seen it happen. Except for the full Nelson Judas effect.
Yeah.
But the story is what really kind of caught me in that, and that's why I would probably give this a 4.5, to be honest. Now that I think about it, it was really fucking solid overall. I wish I saw more, and I know you're saying, oh, you're Kenny Omega Dick Rider. I honestly wish I saw more of Omega and Moxley in this. I think
it was actually the perfect match, because you don't want to spunk that load, especially since it's on pay-per-view.
I know, it's just, I kind of wish there was more of them, but I mean, it's fine. The way they ended it was fucking great. I love that Moxley just destroyed Kenny with that last bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, bringing out all these heels and making them into like this new stable as like an anti-elite.
Yeah.
Was I think it was a fucking great idea. And I mean, whatever they do with them, we'll see how they kind of like connect them, quote unquote.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can see as a flaw is there's not much connection. To add to this, my rating for this I would give it 5 stars because Jake Hager. I don't think I need to explain much more. No, in all seriousness, no, I'd give it 4.25 stars. I thought it was a really great build. Really great way to end the show. It's kind of more like a 2000s way to end a show. Just a bunch of storylines thrown in together. I thought it was a great way. The thing that, to go into like what we think of AEW overall, Dynamite, Wednesday Night Dynamite, is I think this show accomplished what it was supposed to do, and that's I can't wait to watch AEW next week. Because that's the biggest thing. Like, both NXT and AEW both made me be like, I want to watch this show next week. I can't wait to see how this Wednesday Night Wars plays out.
Yeah. No, I more or less agree with you. I don't have really anything to add on to that. That's kind of like the whole point is that
I threw your phone for a second.
Oh, yeah. The whole point was that I wanted to watch more. Like, I want to see more of what's going on. So, that's what's kind of got me excited, is that we got 2 great shows every week on Wednesday night. And they kind of just got me interested in seeing more. And I guess we can kind of say what we think the ratings
Well, before
are
we
for
do
this.
that, let's talk about what actually the
actual
viewer
numbers.
Yeah, the actual numbers. The series premiere of All Elite Wrestling's AEW's Dynamite on TNT came out on top against WWE's NXT on the USA Network in the Wednesday night
Is it you just reading the
ratings.
message that you sent to me?
Yes. So Dynamite got an average of 0.68, which translates to 1.4 million viewers, and this is between the ages of 18 to 49 adults. And NXT got a 0.32, which is 891,000. So basically 500,000 difference, and just by rating scale, more than double.
Yeah.
So that's crazy that WWE actually lost. Like, they haven't lost a single rating wrestling-wise to another company head-to-head since the WCW Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, and the fact that this was like how they debuted. Let me reiterate that. This is their debut
On television.
on television. That is unheard of
Yeah.
in this. Nobody does that good on their debut.
Exactly.
And this is a company coming out from almost nearly 20 years of no direct competition
Yeah.
against WWE. That is fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of what we're talking about. On a numbers level, AEW blew NXT out of the fucking waters.
Yeah.
There's no contest in that say. In terms of our personal opinions, I'll let Donovan take it off first of who he think won the Monday.
This one was hard
the
for
Wednesday
me
Night War.
because I like the mini takeover NXT. Let me first preface this by, like, we're not going to take into consideration what the majority thinks.
Yeah,
no
no,
offense.
this
This
is-
is our personal opinion and how we think the war is going on. Because the majority of people think NXT, which is fair enough. It was an amazing show. It was pretty much a mini takeover.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I broke it down to 3 things. The atmosphere, how like the show made me feel, how story-driven each show was, and the action in the ring. When it comes to action in the ring, the meat and potatoes of like the actual wrestling, technically, NXT won, hands down, in my personal opinion.
And I would 100%. I share pretty much the exact same scale of those 3 essential things of that. And without a doubt, I would 100% agree with you. NXT has technically, I don't think all of them are, but in this short amount of time, they showed more technical proficiency in their wrestling.
Yeah.
All of them.
Like, I'm not saying that AEW doesn't have good wrestlers. I thought they were also all amazing fundamentally in the ring.
I mean,
as well.
you got people of course like Pac, you got Chris Jericho, you got Hangman, you got
Well, the thing that I think that's different is NXT brought out all their big stars.
exactly.
Well, AEW is trying to establish some of theirs.
Yeah, they're still getting their groundwork first, and then you got a lot of people who could very much like fit into like an NXT thing.
Yeah.
But of course, like I felt like NXT just basically threw everything they had into this right away.
Exactly. Then when we go on to story part of the show.
I would say even story and atmosphere though could go hand in hand with this though.
Yeah, let's just put them together. Story and atmosphere, how they made me feel, how the stories went. I think AEW won that out.
Yeah.
Because NXT, they were kind of ending feuds, you know what I mean? The end of the Street Profits feud, the end of the Shayna and Candice feud. Basically, all the champions retained. The only one they really pushed forward is here's our new challengers.
Yeah,
and,
they just introduced
Finn
them.
and Ciampa as returning. Where on AEW, it's like
They're establishing everything.
I want to see what happens between Mox and Kenny.
Yeah.
I want to to be fair, the promo packages on NXT did push forward, but it's different from when you see action
It's
ring.
different.
It's just the ending of AEW makes me think what's going to happen between the Elite and Chris Jericho's faction, and it just makes me excited. For overall for the week, I've actually been debating it for hours before I started this podcast, but I think I'm gonna have to edge it out to AEW. It's not just because like it's the first show. It's just that ending. Well, the thing that put it over for me was the women's match, Rio and Nyla Rose. Is how well that story was told. How invested I was in that match. I haven't been invested in a match like that since Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan at Mania. And it was just such a great story and such a good feel-good moment that I'm going to have to give my point this week to AEW.
You know what, and I would very much agree in terms of the story and the atmosphere. A lot of... I do agree. A lot of the stuff in NXT was just kind of tying up loose ends and getting ready to start a bunch of new stuff, which, I mean, that's great. But I almost felt like they could have started that beforehand. Mm-hmm. I kind of felt like they didn't have to do like a reset or anything, but they almost could have done a soft reset with everything and started everything out.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been good, especially to introduce a bunch of new people, because right now you got a bunch of people who are coming to see this not new show, but a show that's now debuting on the network on a Wednesday night, and it has its second hour.
Yeah.
That viewership is still going to be lost. Yeah, they're going to come in and see, oh yeah, these people are amazing wrestlers, but they're not going to know who they are. They're not going to know their personality.
Yeah.
And they're going to be lost.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think AEW won this.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of people. Yes, a lot of them are still continuing. You still got the Mox and the Kenny feud going. Obviously, people are going to be lost. But a lot of those stars that they brought in there, nobody knows, and they're establishing themselves. And that's what I think won it out for me, is that in this, they told a story, and that story captivated me the entire time. Mm-hmm. What I think of this NXT is that technically, yes, they blew him out of the water, no doubt. But that's not what... That's not the only thing wrestling about.
In the ring is 50% of the wrestling.
It's 50... Yeah. It's you have... Just because you could be the best technical wrestler of all time... Yeah. And have the fucking personality of a bag of wet chalk.
Well, like the example that I always hear about that is really good is Apollo Crews. Mm-hmm. Imagine amazingly gifted wrestler, no crack.
No.
Like no personality. Like, no. I don't give a toss about him, sadly.
No, and that's. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure he could if he was given the chance or given the right.
I don't know actually, because they've given him some chances and he's still just pretty bland. I find.
Yeah, it's like
even in NXT, I found him bland.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's the thing is that if you don't have a personality to sell with anything, or you don't have a story to tell with it, why should I give a shit?
Yeah, why should I care?
Why should I care? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying story matters to everything, because you could tell the best story or convey the best story to people, and not how to know how to wrestle a lick, and people aren't going to buy it. So you got to find the right balance between the two, and I think that's what AEW did. Is everybody can wrestle without a doubt. Yeah. There's no fucking doubt in my mind that they can wrestle, and that's what sold it for me is the fact that AEW focused on the story and let the wrestling speak for itself. Whereas I felt NXT was very, very focused on the wrestling and not so much the story.
Exactly.
And there were moments of story, like you had Finn Balor coming out and you had Tommaso Ciampa coming out, and that's great and everything. They're setting up for the future, so it's got me excited to see what's going on. But without a doubt, for me, it's not even a close contest. AEW won this, no doubt,
so
because they made me care.
So there you have it. Week 1, AEW is up 2 points to NXT 0. Mm-hmm. Before we close out, I just have another cool thing we can add in. What wrestler do you think was MVP of the week?
Ooh, that's a good one. Actually, that's a really good one. Are we talking about for both or just for each?
Just one wrestler from both for the entire week. I'll give you mine first. So I was going to give it to Riho, but to be fair, she's already established star. But the one that edged it out for me this week is Sammy Guevara. I am super impressed with what this guy does in the ring. He is kind of backing up his mantra where he says he is the best, even though he's 0-2. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, technically, he's won a 6-man tag match, but in singles competition, he's always 2. But he's shown to me, like, his character work in AEW was amazing. Like, I know a lot of people are probably looking at, like, all these other stars, but I think Sammy Guevara is actually, like, a future star, future world champion. His in-ring style is amazing. The panda headgear is amazing. But this week, basically what I took away at the end of the day from all this wrestling is that Sammy Guevara is someone to watch in the future. And I think if we're going to keep doing this MVP of the Week segment, I feel like Sammy Guevara is going to be on there.
Yeah.
For me, more and more every week.
You know what? I was actually going to completely... I was going to say Sammy Guevara first.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'd agree with you. I'd say out of this week, Sammy Guevara really stood out to me as a big potential player in being like a main event player. And I think that if AEW decides to push him, and decides to kind of like, you know, have him compete in more really big matches, especially with like people like Kenny, Chris, Moxley, and have him go up against people like that, they have a big future star on their hands.
Exactly.
And I think it would be an absolute shame to waste that, and I hope to see him in more matches.
Well, if you've listened this far, I'm really happy that you have. We're at the 2-hour mark for this podcast. I did not know it was going to take us this
and
long.
And also, if you have listened to this far into the podcast, what are you doing with your life?
Thanks, Dad. Just to close this out, we will be doing a podcast every week chronicling the Wednesday Night Wars until it ends, which hopefully it never does.
Hopefully, but you know what? Everything good comes to an end at some point.
We're also going to do individual... I was going to bring this up. I'm going to kind of spring this on you. I think we should also do individual podcasts for each major pay-per-view that they're going to do. It sounds like they're going to run head-to-head, so...
That's going to be an asshole.
Yeah. So,
We'll definitely figure out maybe a bit more concise and more.
Maybe we can try to trim this down
I
next time.
This is nearly a 2-hour podcast right now, and doing this every week would fucking make me want to shoot myself in the face. So I think
I don't know. I enjoyed myself.
I do, but at the same time, it's almost 4 a.m. I think we will try to find a more concise and maybe a little bit more entertaining way to convey like our information. I don't know if anybody would prefer a more technical thing like how Donovan, or a more feelsy kind of thing, or maybe something in between, or even something different. Maybe if you have an idea for us, let us know
in the comments below,
because we definitely hang out in there. At least I do.
Also follow, you can subscribe to Judge Lemon as channel. I'll leave that in the description below.
Don't do that.
He uploads quite regularly. He uploads
I don't.
Fortnite playthroughs every Monday, and every Tuesday he does reviews of the latest movies involving the Joker, Princess of Staten Island, Carmella. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyways,
I'm sorry, but right now you deserve the fattest boy.
Anyways, thanks as always for watching, and let the war wage on.
We'll see you in the next one.